Hey, good evening, guys and gals. This is Brad Varnell in the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Tonight, I am getting ready to give you a few minutes of content and then go get some sleep. The old coronavirus is taking its toll on me today. I got cold chills. I just took a real long, hot shower and I still got cold chills. And but all in all, I'm feeling great. I feel like I'm getting better every day. Knock on wood, still no respiratory problems. So a little fatigue, a little taste problems, and now a little bit of hot and cold. It feels like I'm either too hot or too cold. And like I said, right now it kind of feels like my fingertips are a little bit numb. But with that, I just wanted to dive into the market here for a couple of minutes. Every day I'm challenged with what can I say today to help add value to your lives to give you guys a better chance of financial freedom than you had before today. Sometimes it's kind of tough coming up with something. So I wanted to go back over something most of you have probably heard, the 80-20 principle. Basically, the 80-20 principle is that 20% of the people have 80% of the money, the real estate. You could just about make, for just about everything in life, when you want to talk about success, 20% of the people end up with 80% of the success, and 80% of the people split up the other 20%. One of the tasks of this channel is to help you to go from the 80% into the 20%. Now, I'm not saying that all of you are in the 80%, and it's not a put down if you are in the 80%, because most of us, that's where we start. Especially us here that live in America, we're born and taught to go to school and get a good education and get a good job. And really what we're taught here in America is how to exist, not how to thrive, not how to be super successful. So if you feel like I'm picking on you and you're in the 80%, please don't take it that way. And the only reason that I bring it up is because it's been thought about, and obviously it could never be done, but most professionals would agree that if you took, say, money wise, if you took the money, the 20% of the top 20% had all of the money, and they distributed it out to everybody, so now everybody had an equal amount of money. Within just a few short years, the top 20% would have 80% of the money again. And the 80% that got all of that money given to them would be just as broke, and maybe in some cases worse off than they were before they got the money. There's story after story after story of lottery winners, young athletes that make millions and millions of dollars that end up in a much worse place in their life than they did before they had the money. The one thing about being broke and then having money and then going back to being broke is it's a lot harder. I could tell you from my own life challenges. A lot of people will joke around and say, hey, money can't buy you happiness, but neither can poverty. Or being, one of my favorite speakers, a gentleman named Ed Milet, says, hey, I've tried, I've been happy poor, and I've been happy rich. Happy rich is much better. And I can tell you, I've had a lot of broke times, a lot of lean times in my life. Some of you that are watching these videos, like my buddy Drew, and some of my dad, and just some friends from my childhood, can kind of laugh. My buddy Drew, in fact, he joked around. He said, I'm not going to tell my dad that you're a millionaire because he might have a heart attack. I mean, I used to sleep on my friend's couch when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, and I was broke and just really hurting in life. And him and his dad took me in. I would sleep on their couch, and his dad, God bless him, was awesome to me. But I'm sure that seeing me at 19, 20 years old with not a whole lot of ambition, not a whole lot of direction, and it really didn't look like I was going anyplace, I could imagine that he would be pretty surprised if he saw me where I am today. So with that, folks, the good news is that you can change, but it starts up here. It doesn't start with buying a cryptocurrency. Buying a cryptocurrency is a tool to help you get the freedom. But in order to keep the freedom, in order to earn the freedom, and in order to have it long term, you got to change a few things up here along the way. And I hope that this channel will kind of give you some stepping stones and give you the ability to start making some changes, like having an abundance mindset. One of the most exciting things about this journey for me, I don't know if any of you have ever gone into a restaurant and read the menu from right to left. Yeah, of course you have. Almost everybody does. They base what they're going to buy by the price. And I did that for 45, 46 years of my life, and I still catch myself sometimes making that mistake. But for the most part, I just order what I want to order. That little thing right there is so awesome, because you could be in a restaurant full of hundreds of people. You might be the only person that doesn't care whether it's a $15 hamburger or a $35 ribeye, and so on and so forth. So little things like that, but you gotta train your mind for abundance in order for it to come. You can't have a broke mindset and expect to get wealthy. You gotta have the wealthy mindset first. That will attract the actual wealth. With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just show a little bit on the market. Looks like everything's in the green a little bit today. Bitcoin's hanging out pretty close to even for the day, less than 1%. Ethereum, same thing. You know, most of the top few coins are just pretty much kind of hanging out, and that's okay. When we've had these big run-ups, like over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, everything's gone up pretty good. You know, Bitcoin went from 30 to 45,000, so it's gone up 50%. Ethereum was all the way down into the $1,700 range, and it's up over 3,100. So we're talking about multiple tokens that have come up 50, 75%. My favorite one here, the old Polkadot, is $21.68. It hit an all-time low of about $10 and something a couple of weeks ago. Not an all-time low, but an all-time low for this cycle in the last in the near distant past. So everything's looking good. I would say, whatever strategy you are employing, keep on keeping on. Keep adding to your positions. All of these tokens are super, super, super cheap compared to what we're looking at price-wise in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I guess that's the last thing I'll say about, creating wealth. Excuse me. Creating wealth with these cryptocurrencies is the longer time frame you have in your mind, the more likely you are to get successful. If someone comes to me with 10,000, 25,000, 100,000 and tells me that they need to have $1 million in the next 3 to 6 months, I'd tell them it's possible, but it's going to take some luck. If they tell me, hey, they got a year, I would say the odds of that happening are getting better. But if you tell me you've got 5 or 10 years that you can invest your funds for, and as long as they're worth millions in 5 to 10 years, you're happy, it's almost guaranteed success. Nothing is totally guaranteed in life. A lot of different things can happen. And so nothing is guaranteed, but man, this is about as close to a guarantee as is humanly possible. Crypto's going mainstream. Adoption is taking place every single day. And before you know it, cryptocurrency is going to be part of our everyday life and almost everything that we do. And it's going to make a lot of people an immense amount of wealth. So last but not least, be patient. Don't get me wrong. I got involved in crypto because I wasn't patient enough for the stock market. I wanted my wealth much faster than investing and saving for 10, 20, 30 years. And so I understand if you're thinking 10 years, forget it, that's too long. I don't think it's going to take 10 years. What I'm saying is that if you have 10 years, it's basically guaranteed. The shorter your time frame, the more chance there is to it. With that, folks, I hope that you enjoyed listening to me ramble on a little bit today. It was a pleasure spending some time with you. And I look forward to getting back in action tomorrow. I'm really hoping that this corona gets the rest of the way out of my system here in the near future, and I can get back with full energy and full gusto doing what I do best. So with that, guys, I love you. God bless you. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.